here now. Conversation was so good on sending data. We're back now on Sailing Illustrated's Facebook. We're live on my Facebook. Yep. It's come good. And I think what happened was that Restream.io crashed because, okay, now we're now back. I had to reset Restreaming.io, and we should be back now. Tell us if we're not. All these comments, my mom called Facebook to complain about this package. Julia, it's your fault. This package commentary. We are streaming, we believe. Yeah, Ed Worley's 3 thumbs up. We are streaming back on all 4 of the channels. So that was weird. That's never happened before.
No.
Everything was nominal. We have had nothing. I don't think it was an internet crash here because, Julia, we
were on.
We were commenting, right?
Yep.
And I've got excellent live stream statistics. Okay, view analytics. And we are streaming to all 4 channels. Welcome back. Thanks, Peter Taylor. So sorry for that. Don't know really what happened except somewhere in this chain from the studio through Comcast, the internet, to Restream.io, then to the 4 content distribution CDNs, as they call them. I blamed the wife. Graham Sweeney said, yep, everything is back. Well, okay. We've got audio. We've got video. We are streaming it. No problem. So we're going to continue here. We were telling you about this Team Seattle crew's attempts to make history in the race to Alaska, and we were running this video.
Let's reflect the main.
Nadia, Sebastian, Enzo, and Francesca make a pretty good team.
Just look out for each other. That's what we've been doing so far, and it's working really well.
That'll come in handy as the teens traverse 750 miles of unpredictable waters in a cramped 27-foot sailboat.
We're gonna have our challenges.
Destination? Alaska. The Doherty siblings and their 2 friends, including an unrelated Doherty, are heading north.
Way the heck up there.
The youngest crew in the race to Alaska.
You know you're always on the edge of disaster.
It's an annual scramble up the unpredictable Inside Passage, featuring more than 36 teams.
The whole thing is that there are no motors. It's just a human-powered or wind-powered race.
They go by the name Team Mustang Survival's Rite of Passage, and they've been training for the past 6 months, even practicing crew overboard drills in chilly Puget Sound.
We're kind of representing youth sailing, and we want to represent them in a good way.
They're ready for whatever the frigid waters up north have to offer.
And it just gets really, really cold, and the weather is completely different.
They've even practiced their at-sea bathroom skills.
You can ask someone to look the other way. I mean,
There's that, yeah.
It involves hanging off the back of the boat.
Especially if it's rough out, that can be a little dicey.
Early this morning, the team set out from Port Townsend, but while near gale force winds would soon surprise and swamp some of the other competitors, this crew made a smart decision, turning around to wait for a safe window. In the morning, they hope to start again on the quest to become the Race to Alaska's youngest ever finishers.
So many people who've helped us.
Yeah, okay, it's a nice video. It ends a little abruptly. I think that was all we got off of YouTube of that video. Nice report, though, by King TV. And a couple of you mentioned that is a Santa Cruz 27, one of Bill Lee's designs that these 4 kids are sailing. Fog Machine saying, great to see a Bill Lee design still on the cutting edge. Oh, the comments are still coming in. The VPL server went down, something to do with package streaming. That hanging off the stern is standard test for crewing. It really is.
Oh,
saying,
I know,
yes,
it's awful.
Indeed. Okay, enough of that. But this race starts Thursday, the leg up to Ketchikan from Victoria, BC. And I've got a race chart here. This was hard to find, but if you look here, you can see they started down here in Port Townsend in the northwest corner of Washington. Up by, there's Anacortes, which is where we built the trimaran that sailed in the 2010 Cup. And then they raced just the 40 miles across here to Victoria on Vancouver Island in BC, in British Columbia. There's the international border right through there. Then they start on Thursday, and they race up the Inner Passage up to Ketchikan. and I've got that. And they have waypoints, so they have to go past this Bella Bella. Well, this waypoint number 1 down here in Seymour Narrows. So they have to come up here in the Inner Passage, and then they have to go past this waypoint in Bella Bella, British Columbia, and then on up to Ketchikan, way up here in the finish, and you can go through these various islands inside and out.
Each of which has an eddy around it, I'm sure.
Well, exactly. And now, have you done that, Julia?
I've sailed some of those islands, but it's scary.
Well, I've done it in a cruise ship coming the other way from
Yeah.
Alaska back, well, both directions, actually, in a cruise ship, now that I think about it, from Vancouver up and then Seattle back with my late great-grandmother and my wife. And that can be rough on a cruise ship, depending upon the wind and the breeze. But nice stuff, interesting and beautiful scenery. And of course, we saw the movie, The Bears, and some of the stuff that goes on. The inside passage to Alaska has been paddled by native canoes since time immemorial, sailing craft for centuries, and after someone found gold in the Klondike, the route was jammed with steamboats full of prospectors elbowing each other out of the way for the promise of fortune. It's in the spirit of tradition, exploration, and the lawless self-reliance of the gold rush that the race to Alaska was born. R2AK is the first of its kind in North America's longest human and wind-powered race, currently the longest cash prize. Largest cash prize, thank you, Julia, for a race of its kind. The start for race 1 was on the 13th, yesterday at 5 a.m. in Port Townsend. The race across the Victoria, and the race for stage 2 is at high noon on Thursday, the 16th. Who was the first to Victoria, you will ask, in this practice race, really the qualification race, and that is a famous yacht itself. Anybody can identify that besides Stingray? Stingray knows the boat.
9,700.
That is Dark Star.
Oh, no, I don't.
That is, we think, we're not 100% sure, we think that's Paul Beaker's Riptide 44. We know it's a Riptide 44. We think that's Paul Beaker's Dark Star. Jonathan McKee of the famous McKee family in Seattle Yacht Club. Matt Piste, I don't know how to pronounce Alyosha, I guess, Strum Palerm from Seattle. And they're using as their human propulsion when they don't use sails, they're using oars.
Okay.
You saw the kids had this paddle mechanism that off the back end of the boat that they could use human-powered cycling, taking up the America's Cup, cyclors, or maybe the America's Cup taking after those kids now.
Mm.
And that is our report on the race to Alaska for today's
It'll be interesting.
show 520.
It's an interesting thing. It'd be fun to. It will be fun to follow it.
Well, I think as it was won by a traditional team last time it was, well, maybe the last time was 2019, 2018, when that women's team sailing, what was it, Amelgas 24, Amelgas 32, won the race. And we'll see what happens now in this next go-around, because I suspect that the McKee team will be very strong indeed. Yep, we had oars on our Canard, no engine. Okay, yeah, Worley, he's up here.
Mm.
We have an awesome Aussie anecdote. This, of course, from our dear friend Alistair Murray. I think this is his number, fifth or sixth. I lost count. But it's a simple one. He writes, "Dear Tom and Julia," writes this morning, and the FOSI, "My anecdotes will unashamedly be of a great variety. There will be some in-depth news, fun interviews, latest developments from the sailing world, discussion points, and some downright fun and silly items," which is just what we had in mind, right?
Right.
Fantastic stuff that we get from Emmett, now regularly from Alistair Murray, who writes today to say that my wife Tracy and I were married in 2010 in Thailand, and we returned to Australia for our honeymoon. When I say honeymoon, it was perhaps not Tracy's wildest dream that our honeymoon would be at the Tazar Nationals in Rockhampton, Queensland, where she and I competed together. In fact, she was perhaps a trifle miffed, but of course it was non-negotiable. Oh, that's tough. And to our great pleasure and surprise, our sailing mates banded together and had a special wedding cake made, which was eaten by about 100 of us after the day's racing. There was enough to go around. I don't think the cake maker was a sailor, but they did a great job of faithfully reproducing the cake from a Ronston catalog page. Here's the photo. But what do you all think? Has anyone seen a cooler cake? And I don't think.
Yeah.
Go back a couple slides.
Yeah,
There it is.
It was fun.
Ron Stan Cam Cleat, Alistair and Tracy. A new grip on life. Nice, eh?
Yes, very.
Very nice indeed. And he wraps up by saying, and now to next week's topic, inspired by a recent poll conducted during one of our many Zoom calls during the lockdown. Melbourne had it about as bad or worse than anybody.
Yes.
I want all the FOSI to nominate the boat or boats they think have made the greatest contribution to sailing and why. The boat or boats, the class, the fleet. And he says
Or
next.
how about era?
Well, but to sailing, I think he means yacht racing, sailing our beloved sport over the long haul. And he says, I pull this in close so we can read it. Next week, I will nominate my top 10 from 10th place to first with reasoning, I hope, Alistair. I'm really going to concentrate on the essence of the question, quote, the greatest contribution to sailing, unquote, not necessarily the exploration or history, and it can be individual boats and or classes of boats. Of course, we will all have wildly differing opinions, and they will be colored by what we sail and by regional considerations, but wouldn't it be great if we collectively came up with at least a top 3 or so? Mine's worked out. I will submit in my Alistair's awesome Aussie anecdote next week.
That'll be interesting.
Graham Sweeney says it has to be the J24. The Restream bot seems kaput. No, I think we're streaming on all 4 last I checked. I don't know what's going on. Restream may be having problems. Ukrainian company based in Austin, Texas, and they've been very reliable up till now. So, we'll see. So that's Alistair's challenge and his awesome Aussie comment and awesome Aussie anecdote, I should say, and his challenge on what is the coolest boat, Julia. Most impressive boat. Fog Machine is already commenting, saying America, the yacht America. That's got to be right up there. Good point. The Opti and the Merlin Rocket. Oh, no, he means Merlin. Maybe he means Merlin. Santa Cruz 70.
Yeah.
Probably what he means. Okay, who else? What others have ideas? And I guess how are we going to collect these before Alistair's? Maybe Alistair's is going to put his on next week, and then we'll collect all. Think about it. So maybe that's the thing to do, Julia, is for everybody to be thinking about it in the meantime, and then put your.
Will it happen next week?
Yeah, we'll do the show next week. And Alistair says he will put his nominations in his top 10 and see if we can narrow it to the top 3. And maybe you all want to react just to Alistair's top 10, and we'll see if on the show we can pare it down to 3. A nice tidy package, Julia.
Only thing I can say, it sounds worse, so I won't say anything.
Ed Worley saying the J class, the IACC in 12s, 12 meters. You can run a poll and then put the results out on Tuesday. Yeah, we could do that, John. Why don't you, John, in your report on Tuesday, give us your top whatever, 10 or 3. And then Alistair gives us his list of something. And when he gives us his list, then we can all react against it live and see if we can come to some kind of a conclusion. Because Alistair's thinking about this, and we'll say, "Oh, that's a good one," or "We don't agree with that." We'll do it just live, and here's FOSI comments.
Okay.
Okay. Does that make sense? Ed Worley. Okay. Let's check in with the Vendée Arctique, which is going on as we speak. It started Sunday. That 3,500 nautical mile race up and around Iceland and back to France. The tip we gave you from Tip and Shaft on Friday's show, a little significance to why this race is so important beyond just sponsor visibility. 25 solar sailors will cross or did cross the start line of the Vendée Arctique Le Sable d'Olonne on Sunday, the first of the 5 qualifying races for the Vendée Globe 2024. So this is a qualifying race. It's a good opportunity for them to rack up precious qualifying miles, 3,500, of course, for those who finish. And these might prove doubly valuable as at 2.5 years from the start of the next solo race around the world, the number of projects exceeds the 40 available places. Bravo Zulu to them. Hence, it is important to be well placed in the race for miles. And Tip and Shaft on Friday posted a really cool, long, really nice, long report. So if you don't get that newsletter, go sign up to it. Tip and Shaft, I guess it's tipandshaft.com. You can Google it. Comes free on Fridays from France. But I digress. Now, here is a report from Pip Hare from just a few hours ago. She's in this group. They're not progressed very far. It's been a little light, but have a look at her report in the Atlantic. Pip Hare and Nadalia.
Just approaching the ridge of high pressure, just coming right into the middle of it now. It's about 4 knots of wind, and my main job is just keeping the boat going. It's hard to think it's the same boat as this morning, but look at this, because this is spectacular. The moon, huge, lighting up a path on the water. It's not going to be dark tonight.
So what's the strawberry moon?
I just saw it.
It's happening today, right?
Yep.
That's she's obviously seeing it or seeing what is what is the strawberry moon?
It's the name of the moon that happens at this time of year. Oh, because it's when strawberries are being harvested.
Really?
That's what they said.
I didn't know that. You learn something new every show.
I think it's in the Midwest and so forth too.
I don't know. Strawberry moon. Well, that's apparently tonight, and this is where they are. You can see they're out in the Atlantic, just off the coast of, off of Wales, and they got a long way to go. And it's been a little slow going.
Yep.
The standing so far, if you can make that out on the right, Benjamin Fair, I don't know how to pronounce that in French, Ferret. Then Charlie Dallin on Apivia is second. With some of these are familiar names. Down Charal, Jeremy Bayou in fifth. Linked out Thomas Riant and Manuel Cousin in Group 17 is in seventh. Pip Hare was in 19th, I think, when I checked the standings earlier today. But we'll be following that as they make their progress up around Iceland and back down.
That's a long way.
And these are indeed exotic races that we're talking about. The race to Alaska, now the race up around Iceland. And as we approach Midsummer's Night on the 21st? Is it 21st this year?
Mm-hmm.
Longest day of the year here in the Northern Hemisphere, and your shortest day of the year down under. Now we get to another interesting announcement that we'll run here in our Jody Shields Memorial segment, correct or croutonic. This announcement came out this morning, and that is that Cows Week this year is being sponsored by Visit Abu Dhabi. They're the new Cows Week sponsor, and they will have a winter regatta set. There is now set. There'll be a winter regatta in the UAE in Abu Dhabi this coming, January. Visit Abu Dhabi has been announced as the presenting sponsor of Cows Week, and the world-famous regatta is to start a winter version in the UAE capital. Abu Dhabi is the capital and second most populous city after Dubai of the United Arab Emirates. Cows Week Limited said to, quote, further reinforce the relationship To further reinforce the relationship, they have joined forces with Global Mission in Abu Dhabi to launch a new regatta called the Cows Week Winter Regatta.
Wow.
The inaugural edition of the Cows Week Winter Regatta will take place from Monday, January 23rd to Friday, the 27th, 2023, with racing for a range of one-design classes, including J70, the SB20s, the Etchells, the Dragons, and the Cape 31s, as well as IRC yachts and performance cruiser and club cruiser divisions. Entries are invited from boats of all shapes and sizes, with subsidized shipping available for early entrants. I wonder if Andrew Pindar knows anything about this.
Mm-hmm.
Probably does. He's probably in the middle of it. The online entry form will be available shortly. This announced today, and I ask you, is this correct or Croutonic? You know, there's quite a controversy over the Saudis sponsoring the golf here now, Julia, in the U.S.
Yes.
This new, it's not quite a breakaway league. Is this correct or Croutonic? That the Cows Week is being sponsored by Visit Abu Dhabi. Is that the name of it? And then they're going to, in return, run a regatta in Abu Dhabi in January. What saith the rest of you? John Emmett, that's not commenting directly on this, but he's saying, I think what is so good about our sport is that there are different boats for different people. For one person, the cadet, one person Amir, one person an Opti, the boat which got them to love the sport is what's important. I don't see it as one best boat. Gordon Smith says this idea is correct. He thinks it's a great idea. Not much reaction. People are kind of neutral. I may be scratching your heads a little bit about this. It took me a little bit of time to figure out if this was, I think it's basically a good idea, Julia.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see what the problem is. You don't seem enthused.
Oh no, I'm just wrapping my head around it. It should be the right direction for international understanding.
Yeah, Fog Machine saying Arab oil money, sports washing, not sure what to think. Ed Worley seems strange to sponsor just trying to get tourists to visit. Yeah, and get visibility for Abu Dhabi.
Mm-hmm.
People are scratching their heads. I don't see what's wrong with it. Abu Dhabi's pretty Western leaning, reasonably liberal. Bahrain and Abu Dhabi, probably the two most, but they still have some, they're still not in terms of human rights, but neither are we, neither is China, neither are any number of other countries. But you're all kind of scratching your heads, it seems like. Not much response to this one. People maybe not wanting to take a position here on in public. Okay, well, we'll carry on and see if any other positions come up. In the meantime, we have really another Bravo Zulu for a terrific event that we told you about at Yacht Club Costa Smeralda a couple weeks ago, and now we have their wrap-up video, and this is just a celebration of the offshore world, the maxi world, the super yacht world. Have a look and enjoy.
Getting these boats together in the same water is such an incredible spectacle.
Great to be here, of course. It's always a pleasure, and it's always a good organization.
This place. I mean, the whole kind of, racing grounds are, I think, unmatchable by anything else around the world.
I mean, it's a great place to sail. It's the best place in the world, the coastline and, the islands.
Great time, have a great sail.
I think this is the finest place to sail in the whole world.
The wind, the sailing, the scenery, the temperature, yeah, it's good to be back.
We are very, very, very happy about this event. It has been an incredible week.
What a place.
Oh,
eh?
yes.
Huh? We should all be so lucky as to go there for a regatta.
Absolutely.
I judged various events there, chaired the jury, and it was it was good
Excuse
fun.
me.
You got your cough switch.
Sorry. Forgot.
A little drink of coffee helps too. But what a fantastic spot, eh, Julia?
Fabulous. And those boats are just heavenly to watch.
Somebody said, Fog Machine said, it takes a lot of money to race in slow-mo like that.
That's true.
That really wild, beautiful area to sail. Matthias Collins has come back and said, Tom, I posted this on Facebook. It never came out here on the joint comments. The moon is I wonder if this
The closest to the Earth.
Yeah, I'm just wondering if there was a problem, if that didn't come out here on the joint comments. I think this Restream.io must have had some problems today. Tom, I posted this on Facebook, never came out here. The moon is the closest to the Earth. This is in reference to Strawberry Moon. Only 360 kilometers, 1,000 kilometers from the Earth. When you see it on the sky, so you see it big. And it is called Strawberry Moon because it is the strawberry season, as you pointed out, Julia. It has nothing to do with the color. Also, we have now 4 planets closely aligned with the moon. Nice comment. Thank you, Matthias Collins, down in South America normally. Graham Sweeney, we had Marietta of 1915 moored outside our house for over a week. That was one of the boats featured in that beautiful video for the Giorgio Armani Super Yacht Regatta down at Yacht Club Costa Smeralda with your friend Michael Ilbrook, who was the Commodore, featured also in that nice video. So we carry on here to some brief news in the America's Cup world. I'm calling him the $20 million man because that's what one hears. I don't know if it's for sure true. One hears he's pocketing $20 million by moving the event to Barcelona out of Auckland. That's what one hears. What's the news? The America's Cup news. The city of Pensacola welcomes New York Yacht Club again, American Magic, back to the port of Pensacola. Nice press release by American Magic. The city of Pensacola is excited to welcome New York Yacht Club American Magic back to the port for training, marking the team's 3rd winter training on the Gulf Coast. Patriot, the team's AC-75 racing yacht, arrived in Pensacola on Saturday, 3 days ago, after making the journey from New Zealand. American Magic will spend the summer building out the team's base in advance of winter training. The team will spend all winter in Pensacola training before relocating to Barcelona for the final push into the 37th America's Cup. These were 3 pictures, these 2 of the 3 pictures that accompanied their release. In 2018, American Magic was the first America's Cup team to train in Florida since 1970.
Wow.
I don't know who that was. One of you on here may know. Probably Bill Ficker. Ficker is quicker, but I don't know that for sure. The Mule, a 38-foot test boat, first took to the Gulf waters, Gulf of Mexico, that is, in 2018 and then 2019 on Defiant, the team's AC-75, the 75-foot monohull. Quote, we are so grateful for the support we've seen from the Pensacola community since our very first visit here, unquote, said Terry Hutchinson, skipper and president of sailing operations for New York's Yacht Club's American Magic. Quote, the team is excited to return and continue training on Pensacola Bay. which has proven to be an ideal training venue for foiling monohulls. We look forward to continuing a long-term relationship with the Pensacola community, which has truly embraced American magic from day one. Nice quote by Terry Hutchinson. Those of you who are geographically challenged and maybe not from the States, in fact, maybe some of you from the States don't quite know where Pensacola is. Pensacola Naval Air Station down there, just east of Mobile, Alabama, and west of Panama City. Destin, Alabama, a great destination. It's a spring break destination for a lot of kids on the beach there. Pensacola, Florida, on the Gulf of Mexico. Beautiful town, beautiful place to sail on the Gulf of Mexico. That's really the only America's Cup news of significance. We keep hearing rumors about the French team announcing this week or next, but so far, nothing certain about all that. We're hearing about some problems in Barcelona. Nothing too concrete. So Julie Ahrens, I see she's back on. She struggled to find us after we got knocked off the air. Yeah. And so welcome back, Julie. But we'll see how this all plays out in Barcelona. I still, as you all know, have my doubts. That brings us to the D block. And our favorite character, Julia, Whiskey Tango Foxtrot. And we only have a couple submissions, and compared to your package comment, they're clean.
Stop it. It's only your interpretation.
No, it's not. It's everybody came to the same one. Now this is this the most popular keyboard on Amazon? I went on Amazon today, took a look. This has, I don't know, 44,000 likes and or comments and likes, I guess. And it was arguably the most popular keyboard on Amazon until this came along, Julia. And you can react and tell me if this is true. Can you see that? It only has 2 keys. Music and porn.
Oh. I don't listen to either one of them on TV.
On your computer? That from Alistair Murray. Thank you, Alistair. That was his contribution to today's Whiskey Tango Foxtrot. And this came from Stingray. My husband will be home at any moment, she says, tied up on the floor. Quick, take the accordion.
There we go.
And if there were a banjo there, she would have said that too. Take the banjo, please. Thank you, the Stingray, for that. That gets us to the finish line, and we want to just mention in closing that the Bermuda race starts this Friday. The Newport to Bermuda race, one of the great 600-plus milers, ocean races in the world. Biennial event starts off Castle Hill. Whether you know someone competing in the Newport Bermuda race or you're an avid fan who might have the race on your bucket list, there are many ways to follow the 2022 race as it starts on Friday with a first warning signal at 1 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time for a 1:10 p.m. start. The fleet is divided into multiple classes and will start successively at 10-minute intervals. The starting line is set, as you probably know, at the mouth of the East Passage of Narragansett Bay. We pointed that out to you before. So you can make it, if you can make it to Newport or Jamestown, which is on the island in the middle of the bay, you can find several great vantage points to watch the fleet depart. Race sponsor Castle Hill Inn offers ringside seating on its expansive lawn. Farther south, Breton Point State Park, free of charge, also offers excellent views, as do the state parks at Fort Wetherill and Beavertail on the Jamestown side over west of the starting line. And they have a starting line live show this year.
Oh, good.
I think this is the first time. They say it's at 1300 Eastern Standard Time. I assume that's a typo. And they mean 1300 EDT, Eastern Daylight Time, on youtube.com/Bermuda Race. We'll take you to their site for the start of this Friday's Bermuda Race, 1300, I think, EDT, Eastern Daylight Time. I'm pretty sure. What? No sailing button, Peter Taylor wants to know on that keyboard.
Yes.
Ed Worley is saying it was the 12-meter Heritage that was built and trained in Florida. Heritage might be the best looking. It was one of the last wooden boats. Heritage might be the best looking 12-meter ever. Ed Worley was laughing about the keyboard. Fog machine like the old Microsoft 3-key model that only had Control, Alt, and Delete. Stan Honey could be racing on his Cal 40 along with many FOSI. Yes, that's probably true. Stan Honey is sailing his last race he and Sally sailing their last race on their Cal 40. It's being bought, it's being sold to Vice Commodore Bo Froelich of the St. Francis Yacht Club's
I didn't know that.
son.
Oh, son.
Bo and Stan are not only related, but they're also, they worked together in the tech business for years.
Right.
And Stan and Sally are going over to the dark side. They're buying a powerboat after this race.
Well, they're allowed.
And the powerboat they're buying is a famously cool boat too, from this neck of the woods. So one hears. Okay, any other comments? I just say that Julia, Meg, our daughter Meg, first thing we did when she was becoming, I don't know if it was a good idea or not, but you know, Leslie's on the computer, I'm on the computer. We got Meg one of these big, that looked like a grapefruit. It was a, what do you call it, a trackball. So she, instead of a mouse or instead of a mouse pad or something, it was a great big grapefruit-sized trackball. So her little hand, to tell me what age, 3 or 4, I don't know what it was, she could get on that trackball, and then there was a thumb button, which was the click. So she could move the mouse around with the trackball, hit the thumb button, and that worked great. She could get on the computer and play games and do her thing.
Proud of you.
I don't know if it was a good thing or not, but Bermuda race this Friday, 1300 Pacific. Stink boats, yuck, good for only water skiing, Julia Ahrens is saying. Yeah, indeed. Okay, Julia, that's it for us. You want to wrap it up?
No.
Okay. To hell with you then. You want to carry on? We can sit here and gas bag for another half an hour.
But do like, follow, and share, because share brings us attention to lots of people who would like to know about us.
Indeed. And John Emmett, thank you. He's just saying thank you very much. He's got a nice comment on. Remember, comments are welcome too, even in replay. Sorry for the interruption. No show on Friday. We're going to be dark on Friday because I've got to go down to Long Beach, and happily so, to help with the television for the Rose Cup this Saturday and Sunday. Please support us on Patreon, patreon.com/Join Sailing Illustrated. If you are so inclined, give us $5 or so a month. We appreciate it. It helps us keep ourselves on the air. Julia, any final thoughts?
No. Happy summer. It's about to be there. Let's have a happy summer.
A week from today, the 21st.
Yep.
It's usually the 21st, but sometimes it's the 22nd or.
Yeah,
Maura Stevens, thank you for the wonderful show you're saying. Thank you for joining us. I hope everyone has a great week. We hope all of you have a great week. In fact, and a great weekend this coming weekend. There's a lot going on between SailGP and the Bermuda race and all the other things that are going on. Wonderful to see the sport back in force all around the world, especially here now in the Northern Hemisphere, our summer. See you on Tuesday. In the meantime, sail fast, sail safe, and have fun. Ciao for now.